Gave the board members packets prior to the meeting by a couple weeks, I think. Total calls for the month of July were 882 calls for service. And the weekend of the storm, which was 2 weekends ago, this last Friday, we had about 60 calls for service in 48 hours. For the boat patrol for the month of July. Total of 8 citations were issued and total of 8 warnings. We had 15 other boat contacts that range from compliance and safety inspections, assist persons, or assisting vessels. So through the end of July, with the 8 and the previous month's report of 11, we're at 19 citations, not including the month of August for the season. A couple other things that the board discussed, and I sent to them. East Lakeshore and Yacht Club, we used the speed sign. That sign was up from June 28th till July 21st. During that almost month period, 7,400 vehicles traveled on East Lakeshore with an average speed of 20 miles an hour. And then we also did the same thing for a much shorter period from the 27th through the 3rd on Fairway, and there were 362 vehicles that traveled down that road with an average speed of 14 miles an hour. So,
Did you have the highest? It's not that high either, right? Well, it's like 40?
I think the high was on the 30th, and that was, that's the vehicle from Hingham. Maximum speed was 24 miles an hour, was the fastest vehicle was going down that road on Fairway, sorry.
And Fairway was the one that we were approached about putting speed bumps on.
Correct.
And Todd mentioned he already put the children at play signs up.
So right now, that sign is out on St. Peter's Road, and next month we should have the traffic numbers for St. Peter's Road and our portion of it, or at least one portion of our portion of it for St. Peter's Road.
Alright, and then, just one.
Oh, the pier permit, I did put something in there, I don't know if they turned it back in. I believe I put notes, I attached a note to it, or, that I reviewed it, and looking at, the maps and that, and what was there, and what was previously there, it appeared that it was still within compliance with the ordinance as written. They just simply wanted to change configuration of their pier.
Yeah, and this one had, it's important, and we have a lot of lake people here, and I mentioned this, back in 2012, when the law changed, that basically said that whatever was in the lake, if it did not impact the neighbor's riparian zone, and that pier planner, that they were considered grandfathered. A lot of people, everybody had the opportunity, if they did not have a pier registered, to get it registered. Most people didn't, okay? So this one here did not have one on file, so indeed what it's doing is saying, here's a pier that fits the pier planner, plus they have 250 feet of frontage, so there's absolutely no issue here. So, Chief looked at it, I looked at it, so, I would make a motion that we approve the pier registration for Arthur Barrick at North 9415 East Shore Road. Waterway Road. Bill, second, question? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? None, carried. Okay, that's it for you. Thank you very much for hanging around. All right, East Troy Area Emergency Services District report, Supervisor Church.
I have a report in the packet, are there any questions?
Open house, well attended.
It was well attended, there were a lot of people there at the beginning, I was there about
been forced to deal with, we had to postpone it.
I hear National Night Out was,
That one I
record
did-
attendance as well.
It was record, I did not attend, that was a conflict on my schedule, so I didn't attend.
Okay, anything else, any questions? All right, thanks, Bart. Rose Lake Memorial Park report, Supervisor
I think he's good.
Oh, I missed you, I checked you out too quick, Park Committee report, Supervisor is.
Yeah, so, Todd included some proposals that he got for the equipment here at the playground, we walked through it. Pointed out there's some, we had an inspection, this is almost 30 years old equipment, right?
20 plus.
25, yeah, 20. And the inspector did say it's actually worn pretty well compared to other parts. But I think there are some areas where we saw there's rust, some of the posts that have been repaired, like after they get water and it freezes, there's some splitting in the seams and things like that. So Todd has done a good job fixing what he can. Looks like we need to do some planning when it comes to budgets, at these proposals. I will try and do some searching for any grants as well for playground equipment. You already know something?
Well, I go to my conference next week and they
Oh,
usually have the, playground people are there.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and then there were some things like, Todd and I talked about maybe in some of the rusty areas where they said it could be a little sharp for kids playing on some of the metal surfaces, maybe we could get like some spray can, rubber coating, something like that, that Todd's team said they could help, get it through, depending, or get the budget over 2 years, but obviously that would be part of the budget process, so, that's what I have.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a sticker shock, you basically seen it. The version to stay equal with what we have was like, about 85,000, 75, and to improve it,
90.
so that's definitely budget time stuff to talk about. All
But I
right,
think we get quite a bit more, yeah, and these now come with like a limited 100-year warranty on some of the, equipment, obviously there've been improvements, it's limited, but, the T's and C's in there. Changed since 20 years when we installed that.
all right, thank you very much. All right, now Booth Lake Memorial Park report, Supervisor Wales.
Not a whole lot new. I think I mentioned last month that we have gotten some more raft equipment, the blow-up equipment, which has been amazing. Our supervisors and staff come in and said that it's crazy. It's a nice day. There's kids running. They have to keep limiting them to how many. I think it's been a great addition to the park.
And people are staying longer.
They're staying till closer to 9 o'clock on the park closed because, kids are busy, so it helps parents too. So, that was good. We did actually have an incident during the storm that we've been talking about with Todd with the trees and stuff, picked it up and some damage, but our staff up there did a great job of getting it back home. We're just kind of discussing things that come up here in the fall, nothing really big to bring up.
Thank you. All right, Lake Beulah Management District report. You guys look here, you got that, right?
The management district met on Tuesday, July 18th at 5:30. We'll meet again at the annual meeting scheduled for August 29th, Tuesday at 7 p.m. The treasurer gave his report and a preliminary budget proposal, which included a 3% reduction in taxes for 2024. And at the same time, we gave him permission to hire an auditor for 2023 to review the finances of the management system. At this time of the year, we formed a nominating committee to provide a slate of commissioners for the next year. Val Johnson, and there's another empty spot, Dave Bitters, commissioners. The total aquatic plant harvesting tonnage is seen a downturn was reported by the Waller County Representative Rick Stacy that the Lake Lauderdale Management Group is using drones to monitor the shoreline and field conditions at Lake Lauderdale. A review of the shoreline aquatic plants by the Nature Conservancy located several areas in the lake where purple loosestrife has been identified, mainly in the Camp Beaver and Camp Edwards wetland areas. A proposal has been made to use a beetle release to control the plants rather than the application of a herbicide. The biocontrol beetle release has been used by the DNR for approximately 30 years. And it will control the purple loosestrife, which is an invasive plant species that crowds out native plants. As we mentioned before, earlier, the management district owns the shoreline at the Double D Corner Tavern site, and it leases the shoreline to the owner for $1 a year. It's approximately 30 feet of shoreline frontage, and he operates a single pier at that location. The venue, in discussing the extension of the lease, it was general discussion amongst the commissioners of the venue is actually a new use on the property, and is not subject to any grandfathering conditions that may have been granted double Ds relating to setback requirements. The required shoreline zoning district setback from the right of way of County Jail is 60 feet. Currently, his parking configuration and a portion of the venue inside for food trucks and music is affected by this setback, as well as the setback on the east property line, which would be 75 feet from the wetlands. This would impact his off-street parking utilities on the site, and also impact his square footage of usable site area. That's it.
Thank you very much. Recycling committee report,
Nothing tonight,
in library.
yes. This is East Troy Lions Public Library Board minutes from 8 August 23. Number one, work has begun on the 2024 operating budget. Number two, the trustees approved the hiring of WILS, W-I-L-S, which is a strategic planning cohort for small libraries to develop a strategic library plan for East Troy's library directions for the next 3 to 5 years. WILS is a nonprofit membership organization serving libraries and cultural institutions, primarily in Wisconsin. Number three, the summer reading program has concluded a very successful season. The total attendance for the 7 programs through July was 790. Number four, the Adult Book Club has grown in membership and now will be offering a second meeting date of the second Friday of the month in the library. That's all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Was that 709 or 790?
The number of kids, all the kids that.
Right.
790.
790.
700, yeah.
All right, planning commission report, Supervisor Woodford.
So there are 4 items in tonight's agenda. The first is a resolution approving petition of a certified survey map rezone request. The Planning Commission requests a motion by the Town of East Troy Board to approve the CSM rezone request at North 9022 Army Lake Road, East Troy, Wisconsin, parcel number PET 1000009. There's a correction though. Is Jen still here? There is a correction that the properties we referred to as a B4, B3, as we learned earlier, that's a waterfront property. So this is a B4, it's a highway district. That's the change that needs to be made on the resolution. Secondly, we have, this is a request to rezone 5 acres of agriculture 3 property to this B4. It is conforming to that. The individual is going to create a woodshop club, which is clearly a conditional use in a B4 setting. And he meets all of the size requirements for the property and for the structure that he's creating.
Supervisor, Joe may be recognized. Did the applicant apply to change it to a B3? Or did he apply to change it to a B4?
We were there too, Richmond, because we talked about this.
Okay.
We've been back in these, it was
Yeah.
confusing.
I think there was just a little confusion during the meeting, we were talking about the business district, but the B3, B4 kind of got switched around during the meeting.
Okay.
It clearly came.
Right. I was gonna bring it up too.
So that's the motion for the board to approve the CMS rezoning request.
Motion?
Second.
Does anybody make a motion? You made a motion, Bill?
Yes.
All right, Barb, second, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed? None, not approved.
The second item on the agenda is a resolution to deny a request for a certified survey map lot line adjustment. And in this case, I'm making a motion requesting that the Town of East Troy Board deny the certified survey map lot line adjustment at North 9020 and North 9024 Austin Road East in East Troy. Parcel number PET 700019. We're asking, essentially the applicant has not come back after several times putting him on the agenda. And we had issues with him, his original lot line adjustment, creating non-conforming lots, which could be problematic in the future in terms of lot lines, well locations, and lot sizes. The applicant said he would come back, he has not come back after a couple of meetings, so we're just denying his, I'm making a motion to deny his request.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, Barb, second, discussion, questions?
Do we have any precedent of how many times?
It was twice for me, in my term, Joe, you.
Usually if they didn't show up, and information was needed, there were 2 chances. One was to, table till the next meeting, or to just deny it. In this case, it sounds like there was a reason to deny it, so we probably just deny it.
We thought he was gonna come back, and he thought there were other options. They never do that.
So he would start the process over?
Yes.
Yes, sounds like that's what he's investigating. All right, on the motion, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed? None, motion carried.
Third item on the agenda this evening is a resolution approving a petition for variance request. I'm making the motion requesting the Town of East Troy Board approve a variance request at North 9409 East Shore Road in East Troy, Wisconsin, parcel number PEP 0006.
PFP.
Is that PFP?
I'm sorry, PFP 0006. In this circumstance, the owners have their 90-year-old parents living with them now. The stairwell going to the lake is in the setback, and it is in horrible shape. And they're asking for a variance to reconstruct the stairs without changing the configuration of the deck. And of interest is that they were approved this variance back in 2010, but didn't do it at the time. So basically, they're coming back, seeking to make a stairway for the elderly parents to be able to walk outside.
I believe it also makes it safer and easier for EMS to access the lake at certain property.
Joe, may I be recognized again?
Yes, please.
Whoever makes the motion needs to incorporate the findings of the plan commission regarding why variance is being granted.
It's in the resolution, go ahead and read it.
Yes.
So, I can certainly read it. The variance has created a singular stairway to the lake, removing the landing that is marking 16 steps with less rise and run, giving a safer form of access to the lake. There's no changes to the existing deck area. As I aforementioned, that this has already been brought forward to the county zoning for variance, which was approved back in 2010. Let the record show that there is only one allowed stairwell, and the applicant has confirmed that this is a singular stairwell for their lake access. The hardship is that of the elderly parents and their access to their property. And there are 2 letters of support from neighbors and no one against.
So you're amending your motion to include those conditions?
I am.
Second.
All right, motion second, and it is in the written resolution. Discussion.
Again, I didn't know this was allowed, was in that third paragraph twice. I just wrote it on before. One stairway, there's only allowed one stairway allowed.
Oh, yes, there is two allowed.
Only bigger.
2 allowed in the 3rd paragraph. They only allow 1 stairway, so the 2nd allowed should be struck.
Either one, yeah, either the first or the last.
Right, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
I
Aye, opposed? None, motion carries.